Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains. There's only one requirement to hang out on the edge, is that you open your big brain and close your small mind. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Look at that. Who is here with us today?
Hello,
Yinka
everybody.
Kilani. She's here all the way from the UK. I've been waiting for her. I don't know if you've been scrolling through your news feeds, Brains, but she is all over the planet. I am so proud of her cross promotion. That's huge. She is a woman of deep faith. She is a mother of an autistic son, and she is a woman living with MS, multiple sclerosis. I want to get some information on that, how she's dealing, how she's managing, and really what is multiple sclerosis, because I'm not familiar with it. I have a friend that has it, but not a lot of detail. Also, she has four Brains books coming out at one time. Who does that? A brain. She is a machine. I'm so excited. She's going to talk about Heal Her. I want to hear what's in that page. She's originally from Nigeria, and now she is here on the edge. Help me welcome her. Yinka Kilani. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me, April.
Oh, thanks for wanting to be halved. I've been so excited and looking so forward to, having a conversation with you and sharing you with my brains. Can you start with a little bit of your story? You went from Nigeria to the UK, and color in the white spaces for us.
Yes. I actually relocated to the UK in 2005. We got on this highly skilled migrant visa program, and my husband and I moved down. And we've been here since then. We literally just settled in, and it's been amazing. I grew up in Nigeria. I had all my education in Nigeria. I started work in Nigeria, and we just thought, okay, let's see what's available outside. And we just thought, okay, let's move abroad for a while. So I think a part of us thinks we're still going to go back to Nigeria, and a part of us, loves to here now.
Wow. So what was it like moving to the UK? I know it was kind of a culture shock, or had you visited there before?
Well, I used to come on holiday with my dad, and because my dad schooled here. So I kind of knew, it wasn't too much of a culture shock for me. But, when you come on holiday, it's different from when you actually live here.
Right.
So that was a bit of adjustment for me, because now, you're not just doing all the touristy things, now you actually got to live here. You got to find work, you got to earn an income and pay your bills and all that. So that's a whole new game entirely. It's totally different from when you come on holiday.
Exactly. So, and it's more of a tribal, cultural community, expectation, lifestyle, religion, versus being in another country. Was that an adjustment for you?
It was an adjustment because, in Nigeria, we're more religious, I think. We don't joke with our church going and all that. And people are a little bit more laid back here. That I found a bit strange, because in Nigeria, when we go for night vigil, we actually do from 9 to like 5 a.m. in the morning,
For
but
church?
here, when you go to a vigil in Nigeria, you go all night.
Wow. Once a week? You go like we go on Sunday here, but girl, we go, I thought being in the Black church here in the United States, we go for 3 hours and you exhausted. Then you go home and have a good soul food dinner. But you go from 9 to 5?
If you go on a vigil, yes, a night vigil, you go from 9 p.m. and you're there till like 5 a.m. in the morning, and you have long worships and long prayer sessions. And so that was a bit different for me because here, the service is like 3 hours and everybody's gone home,
Right. So in the Nigerian church service, I'm sure, I don't know, are you a Christian?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. You guys have some good music?
Oh, we do.
Praise worship.
That's the height of it, for us. The
That-
worship is amazing.
And Nigeria is just so beautiful. I've got some Nigerian girlfriends here that braid hair, but the women are so fashionable there. They really love high fashion, beautiful clothes, beautiful hair. They put a lot into that.
We do. We're very proud of our hair.
Okay, so let me just ask you a question. Are you proud of natural hair or are you proud of Western indoctrinated synthetic hairs and weaves and wigs? Or not you, but just as a culture.
I do wear my natural hair, but sometimes you want to change it a bit, and then I have some extensions once in a while. But normally, my normal me, I have my natural hair on. I haven't got it's not relaxed anymore. I literally have my virgin hair on now.
I know.
So I am proud of my hair.
And I'll pop on a wig in a heartbeat. So people look at my shows and they say, "Who was that?" I said, "I forgot who I had on that day." But it's beautiful to change who you are and to incorporate yourself. So now you are a mother. How old is your son?
He's 13. He's gonna be 14 next month.
Oh wow, he's at a very delicate age.
He is.
How is it raising a 13-year-old, soon to be 14-year-old young man?
Oh, because he's nonverbal, we kind of struggle with communication a lot. But when he's at home, because he knows where everything is, he's quite, he's manageable. It's when we go outside is when we start to struggle a bit, because he doesn't he struggles when people don't understand what he wants. So that we're still managing. We're literally, he started to sign, so we're both learning the sign language now. And I'm hoping that we're going to get to a stage where we can start to communicate. I mean, it doesn't have to be verbal, but even if it's sign language, even if it's pecs, whatever it is that he gets used to, then both of us, I mean, all three of us can learn it together, and we can have a fantastic relationship.
Oh, exactly. And it gives him a sense of independence too, because everybody wants to communicate. Would you mind sharing with my audience and my brains, why is your son nonverbal?
Well, he's quite severely autistic, and what happened was, I think, when I had him, it was a normal pregnancy, so I wasn't, I didn't have there was no cause for alarm. It was when he was only about 3, 4 that we started noticing some few things. We noticed that he wasn't making eye contact. He literally wasn't saying a word. You were expected to be able to babble and start to, say mama or papa or, but he just never said a word. And so eventually, we, took him to the doctors, and eventually they diagnosed him with autism. And, we're managing that for all this, since then.
That's a challenge, but you're a strong woman because you also have a health challenge of yourself. Would you mind sharing that?
Yes. When my son was turning 1, I suddenly started having, pins and needles, numbness, and eventually I actually lost the use of my legs. I couldn't walk, and eventually spread to my hand, and then eventually spread to my eyes. I had problems with my vision in one eye, and then I got diagnosed with MS, and it's a neurological condition where your spine, the coating in your spine gets worn out, and then it loses contact. So the messaging between your brain and your body parts doesn't work quite well anymore. So it depends on where your lesions are. That's where your difficulty comes in. I had mine in mobility. I couldn't walk for a number of years. And at that time, because I had a baby, so it was difficult when you don't want to carry your child because you don't have any strength in one arm, and you could easily drop the baby. So that was how it all started. It was just that, oh, something is wrong. Something is wrong. I don't feel my hand. My legs. It just was difficult to walk from A to B. And eventually when I got when it was properly diagnosed, I had to do physio and all sorts of things. And eventually, maybe a couple of years later, I got my mobility back. I got the use of my hand back. But the way it is, because you have a relapse, you recover, but you don't go back to your 100%. and then you have another relapse, you recover a bit, then you don't go back to what it was before. So eventually, I mean, as I'm talking with you now, this left side of my body still doesn't work quite well, but I've come to a point where it doesn't scare me anymore. I've accepted it.
Well, acceptance is a part, and I know that you took it to the Lord.
Yeah, I did.
Right. You said something to me in the green room and in our post interview, our pre-interview, about God's punishment. What did you mean by that?
Yes, when generally you finally when you wake up, when you sleep and wake up, you assume that your legs will walk, your hand will walk, you will, that your body parts will work fine, so long you actually tell yourself, I'm eating well, I'm exercising, I'm doing all the right things, and so I expect things to go well for me till my ripe old age. And then when it now doesn't work, it's a rude shock, you start to think, okay, where did things go wrong? What did I do wrong? Why is this happening to me? And then you start to imagine, okay, is this something that I did in the past? Is it something that, went wrong? What did I, you start to imagine all sorts of things. And then, some people will actually, I've had people tell me, oh, maybe you're not praying hard enough. Or maybe there's something, maybe that, and you start to doubt yourself. You're like, okay, God, you're not supposed to be holding any of these things against me, and then you start to believe that, oh, maybe God is really punishing me for something. And I had a long season of that.
Let me ask you a question. Are you superstitious?
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but was it once upon a time?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And so now as you progress and you have come to the realization that, I'm not being punished, because it's unfortunate, but, I don't think anybody is particularly punished for one thing or another. God doesn't pick any favorites.
No.
Some people die,
No.
some people lose their sight, some people are homeless. Each person has a journey. What has this journey taught you, and what is it teaching you?
I actually am at a point now that I know that it's got nothing to do with any past sin. God, once you repent, it's forgiving you, and that's the end of it. So now I'm at a place where I know that this is not something that God brought to me. Your genes actually predisposes you to all sorts of things, and you can't blame God for that. So I now come to realize that, okay, this diagnosis didn't come as a surprise to God, because He's the all-knowing Father, and so now I realize that, okay, fine, MS is here, autism is here, we have to live with it, but it didn't catch God by surprise. God knew I was going to have an autistic child. God knew I was going to have MS at some point in my life. And I trust Him that He would have already put things in place for me. So as long as I remain connected to Him, He will give me the coping strategies. And that's how I've been living since I got that realization.
Well, I commend you, because you are bent, but you are not broken.
Yes.
So you're married to a wonderful Nigerian man.
Yes.
I know that it was a challenge for him to, be able to support his wife, continue to be the breadwinner, and also support his son. How's he doing?
Oh, he's an amazing guy. I have to be very honest with you. We actually met in uni, so we were friends for quite a number of years before we got married. So, this kind of, the whole diagnosis and thing came as a shock to both of us. But I think he had a season where he was always like, oh my God, why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to us? But I think he's also come to accept it now. He's come to accept that, what, let's just trust God, let's just hold on to the Lord in all of this. And he will carry us through. And that's what we've been doing in the past couple of years.
Yeah. But you've been doing more than that. You've been writing books. Not one, not two, not three, but 4. You are
Yes,
at
I have.
4 anthologies. Now, 2 of them have already been published. 2 of them are going to come out. And then are you writing a 5th book?
Yes, I'm working on my solo book now.
I'm scared of you. Tell us what's in the pages of some of those books. That's amazing.
Yes. So it was, I think what happened was during the start of the lockdown, I got a call from my MS nurse and she was telling me that, oh, Yinka, you've got to shield, that we don't know how this MS interacts with, COVID and all that you might die if you catch it. And, that kind of scared me. I was like, oh my God, and I wasn't scared of dying as such. I was scared of dying, not having accomplished all the things God wanted me to do. Because I knew God wanted me to write I think for the past 4 years. I've been feeling as if, Yinka, you need to share your testimony. You need to share your testimony. So I just thought to myself, I mean, the minute I got off the phone with her, I said, look, I wasn't waiting anymore. Because, you think, oh, there's always time, there's always time, there's always time. I'll do it when I retire. I'll do it when this is this. And then suddenly I realized, oh my God, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. I could actually pack the virus and be gone the next day. So I said to myself, okay, Lord, I'm sorry I waited this long. I am going to step out in faith and obey you. And so I think it was a couple of days later, I just saw the call for author on Instagram for Forged by Fire, Build God Tough. And so when I read that title, I was like, oh my God, this really sounds like me. So I got in touch with the visionary Kitris Keys. And I said, you know what, I want to write in this anthology. I think the title really describes my journey.
Wow.
And so that was how I started Forged by Fire, Build God Tough. And in that, I wrote about my MS journey. I wrote about how God forged me in that fire, because now I'm a different person from who I was before. And I think God used it to actually refine me. I wasn't a bad person, but I think I'm a better person than, the old Yinka that I knew,
Right.
So then when I finished Forged by Fire, suddenly it opened up more opportunities for me to write in other books. So one of my co-authors said she had her own anthology, which is A Joyful Heart. And I thought, oh, that really sounds like me, So I said, okay, that I really want to participate in that. So I joined Joyful Heart, and that is published as well. That came out 2 weeks ago. And in that one, I actually wrote about, the fact that I've chosen to be joyful. I'm not going to wait until everything is okay. Fine, my physical body has issues. Fine, my son is special needs. But I'm going to focus on the positive things. I choose to look at the things that are working right. And I'll be joyful based on that. So that was how come A Joyful Heart was written. And then, that led me on to More Precious Than Gems, She Knows Her Worth. Because I realized that after all of this, my journey, I truly value myself now. I know the price that God placed on me. Yes. I know that, I literally realized that, look, Yinka, you're a gift to the world. All the issues you've gone through, you went through them so that you can encourage the next person, so that everyone that you come in contact with will leave with a smile on their faces. So I decided to write in More Precious Than Gems, She Knows Her Worth. And then, just as I was finishing that, Heal Her, I saw the advert for Heal Her, and I thought, oh, this describes me as well.
It's calling you. Absolutely, it's calling
I know. So I thought, what, I want to share my story. I want everybody that reads it to realize that, look, it's okay when things don't go wrong in your life, but don't let it drown you. There's still joy out there. God still has an amazing plan for each and every one of us. The fact that, our physical bodies are failing us, I mean, this body, we're going to leave it behind anyway. So why don't we just hold on to the Lord and accomplish all the things He has in store for us. So then I did my chapter in The Joyful Heart and in Heal Her, and that is coming out I think it's in December.
Wow, that's incredible. That is incredible. So what is it like when you sit down with pen and paper? What is your writing process? I mean, do you do it on the computer? Do you audio record it? Do you type it out? What do you do? What is your process, and what is your thought process? Do you go to a sacred place, after you connect with the Lord and touch, touch your soul? Tell me a little bit about your writing process.
It's actually a 4 years ago project. I told you that God had been telling me to write about 4 years ago. And all the things he told me to write about, I've literally been noting them down. I've been like, okay, Yinka, you need to write about your MS journey. You need to write about the way you came to accept your son's diagnosis. You need to write about, the things that you've gone through in life, just to encourage other people. So I knew the specific things that God wanted me to talk about. So when I get the call for author, I'm like, okay, what story can I fit into this one? So
Right,
I
right.
kind of, I already know what the Lord wants me to talk about. I just sit down on my laptop and I start typing, and sometimes I actually exceed the number of words they want, and I have to read back and say, okay, what can I cut off? What can I take out? What can I take out? Just so that I can get to the limits, that was requested.
Right,
And
right,
so,
right. Well, because when I write, I'm woken up.
yeah,
I'll be asleep and God plants the seed of
yeah,
inspiration.
yeah,
And so I have a journal on the side of my bed with a pen next to my glass of water. Girl, I got to have some water next to my bed every night. But I get up and my hands just start writing. And there's a
yeah,
connection between my hand and my brain. I can't type it. If I'm doing poetry or whatever it is, I can't type it out. I have to hand write it out first. It has to be fluid through my body. It's an energy, it's a jolt. And so after I write it down, I look at it and I go, wow, how can anything get better than this? What else can I add to it? How can I refine it? How can I use pretty flower words and create metaphors? And, it's a lot. So it's a lot of love that goes into a writing project. Could you ever see yourself maybe, writing maybe a screenplay about what you're doing, or you said you're going to write your own book, or maybe, a series of short stories, or maybe a television program? Where does your imagination take you?
I'm actually open to all sorts now. And, to be honest, when I sleep, I dream a lot.
I do
So if
too.
I take a nap, when I take a nap in the afternoon, I dream.
Oh, really?
So
I don't
honestly,
have afternoon. I call them noons because I love a nap, honey. I really do. When I was 5 or 6 years old and they said it was nap time, I grabbed my little blankets. You never had no problem with me. I love a nap. But I never dream in the afternoon. It's always like
oh,
night.
I literally, so when I wake up, I actually have my phone and I type whatever it is that, the Lord said to me. I mean, my solo book, I got the title in a dream. I got the chapter headings in a dream. I wake up and I just write it in my phone. I write it in my phone. I write it in my phone and I email it to myself.
Mm.
I keep it there. And then when I now want to sit down to write, I now go to all those emails, I read them, I let it, soak in, and I ask the Lord to help me develop this. And then I start to type.
Hmm. Okay, so I love to do this. I love to toss out some random questions to people and just kind of see what their response are. Are you ready?
Yes,
If you were a flower, what flower would you be?
a sunflower.
Oh, that's beautiful. Why a sunflower?
I just love I love the combination of the colors. And it just reminds me of summer. It's beautiful.
Hmm.
It
If you
makes
had
you
three,
smile.
it does, it does. Um, if you had three wishes, what would they be?
I think I probably wish that the war will end in the world. I will wish for a cure to come for MS, and I would wish for a cure to come for autism. something to support them better. I mean, I'm not going to say cure as such because I don't think, I think they're different. It's not a disease, we just have to, I'll rephrase that. I would wish for more acceptance of autistic people.
Do you find that there's, prejudice and a lot of misunderstanding around autism?
Yes, a lot. And I think one of the most difficult times for me have been when my child is interacting with other kids, and people don't tell their children that not every child is the same, So kids don't understand, and kids can be really mean, And I'm like, how dare you talk to my son like that?
They can be really mean, but you know what? Meanness is taught.
Yeah.
Love is inherited, but meanness is taught. So they're getting that information from somewhere. So maybe we need to kind of work on educating the adults more.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
What brings you your greatest joy, Yinka?
I'll have to say my son, because I literally, I waited 5 years for him. And before I got married, I had polycystic ovaries. So I wasn't having normal periods as a teenager, I always had to be injected. So I've been praying for a child for much longer than I'd been married, So, I mean, when God answered me, it was amazing. It was like, okay, God, it's nothing I can't believe God for now, honestly.
Right, right. That's good. What is your favorite food? What do you like to eat?
Oh, it has to be plantain.
Oh,
I
you
love
know me
plantain.
too, but I
But
can't cook 'em. I tell you, I love them. I go over here to the Hispanic market, Northgate Gonzalez. Shout out to Northgate. They have the best plantains ever, but I can never caramelize them and get it right.
I love them in any form. I love them roasted. I love them fried. I love them boiled. I love them steamed. Any way you cook it, I'll eat it.
Well, there's a lot of potassium in plantains because it's a banana. So that's good, and I heard that that's good with muscles and joints as well.
Yes, it's really healthy.
Yeah. Do you eat meat? Fish?
I do. Oh, I love fish though.
Me too.
I don't really do meat anymore because of the MS, but I do a lot of fish and chicken, and because I think it's healthier.
Right. What kind of music do you like?
Oh, I love Afrobeat.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I do R&B as well. I actually more into gospel, gospel music. I love songs that really help you worship the Lord, songs that actually get you in, that make you focus on the goodness of God. Those are my high points now. I really like music. It's songs that bring you into the presence of God.
What is your son's special gift? And the reason why I ask that is that I know that a lot of children on the autistic spectrum have very special gifts. Some of them are music, some of them are mathematics. I know that he's nonverbal. Is he artistic? Does he like to paint? Does he like to draw? What is he like?
You know what? We're still looking out for that. I know he loves the outdoors a lot. I mean, if you see my son on a horse, it's amazing. You would think he was born to ride a horse, So we're still, and he's quite good with the iPad. He's really, really good with the IT things.
Good.
So we're kind of hoping to discover more about the things that excite him.
Well, my niece works with autistic children, and they are really into animal therapy. Dogs, horses, really kind of getting them out in nature, and it really kind of helps calm them down and helps them back. So that's a great thing. What is one of your biggest fears?
Oh, I think as the future of, my son's future is my biggest fear.
He's gonna be fine.
I know. I keep thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen to him when his mom and dad are not there to look out for him anymore. And it's quite scary. You start to imagine. But one of the things that God's helping me with is, look, even now that you're here, you're not the one taking care of him. I'm the one taking care of him.
Okay. Amen. Amen.
So when I start to get into that, oh my God, what's the future? What does the future have? I hear God say to me, look, Yinka, I'm in the boy's future. Just leave him with me. And so I relax a bit. I'm like, okay, God, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry I was doubting you,
Yeah, I know.
And so when the fear comes, I actually feel the Lord tell me, look, Yinka, don't let, just stop it there. This boy is in my hands and just leave him there, So it doesn't last long, but it comes.
I know, because we all walk by faith and not by sight.
Yes.
And it's not day by day, it's moment by moment.
Yes.
What has all of this COVID taught you about you as a person?
Oh, I think number one lesson I learned was tomorrow isn't guaranteed. You have to take today and make the best of it. Because, you could actually go to the shops and come back and you've caught the thing, and the next thing, you could just slip away to the great beyond in your sleep,
Yeah.
So I literally say to myself, Yinka, you've got to make the most of today. So every day I wake up, I'm like, okay, Lord, I thank you for the gift of life and for this one day that you've given me, one more day that you've given me. I am going to make the best of it. So anyone that comes my way, honestly, I try to make sure that I put a smile on your face. Anyhow I can,
Well, you have put a huge smile on our face here on the edge. You really have. Thank you for opening up. Thank you for sharing your story of your son as well as yourself. Give your husband a high five for being a strong supporter and being an encourager. I'm so proud of you having the courage and the ability to write. Even though some days you're not feeling your best, you are still writing your best. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you or the best way to purchase one of the anthologies. Brains, I'm telling you, if you make friends with her on Facebook, you are going to see her because she is one heck of a marketer. She is really getting it out there. But tell my brains how to get in contact with you, beautiful.
Yes, I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Yinka Kilani. And I usually post my PayHip page on my Instagram post, because I have got a PayHip account where I sell all the books on. And then I'm also on LinkedIn as Adeyinka Kilani. And you could email me as well, adeyinkakilani@yahoo.com.
Okay. What I'm going to do, Brains, is I'm going to go ahead and put it down there because she's got a unique spelling of her name. It's Nigerian. And we want you to be able to connect. Thank you so much. I got to give them a postcard so they remember where they are. I want you to go. I do that all the time. Yes. Hello. I want you to go, like, love, share, connect, because it's very, very important. I mean, this is, there might be someone that has signs or symptoms of MS that wants to support. She says she's there to put a smile on your face. And I'm here to put a smile on your face and deliver great people like Ms. Kilani to share their story and journey so that you know that you are not walking alone here on the edge. Thank you so much, beautiful. I pray for you and your son.
Thank you, April.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Brains.
Bye-bye.